Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again. So this week, I can't believe it's August 2nd already, right? We are talking about three really cool tools to turn in assignments if you're a tech teacher or in the lab. So students are working on work, ways to be able to turn their assignments in that are quick and easy and really simple. So I'm going to kind of give you like a tutorial today. That's kind of how this is going to work. And then I would love in the comments if you guys can give me other ideas or talk about how you use some of these tools and all that. So I'm going to talk about the one first that I became familiar with before any other of these Turnitin tools, and that is Edmodo. So if you use Edmodo too, definitely let me know in the comments. I first discovered it my second year teaching in the tech lab. One of the fourth grade teachers wanted to do a project with her gifted and talented students, and we were talking about how best to do it. They wanted to do a book study, be able to have conversations, and wanted to work with me, the lab teacher, to do this. So they came to my lab so that everybody could get on computers at the same time during some of my open time, and we all got Edmodo accounts. Of course, you have to consider that some of these need permission. So for this particular tool, Edmodo, you do have to have parent permission slips for any students under the age of 13 to be able to make an account. So took care of that ahead of time. That was done. So the day that students came, they got into their accounts, and it worked really well because the teachers were able to put the questions into the group, and then the students were able to take their time to answer them, which was really cool. I really loved Edmodo's simplicity of being able to have everything there together to turn the assignments in, to work on the assignments. I continued using it with that class, and I would give them like their weekly assignment because I had my classes once a week for 45 minutes. Through Edmodo, and the only complication we really ever saw at fourth grade is that they would forget their username and password and have trouble getting in. So other than that, it was really simplistic, and I loved the way that it worked. It was all good. So Edmodo is tool number one. I'm gonna flip you over so that I can show you some stuff. So hold on just a moment. It might get a little shaky, sorry. And then I'm going to have to, I put you on my big screen. If you don't have dual monitors yet, it is life-changing. So Edmodo is this, that's what it looks like. You kind of just have to play around with it. There's not a lot that I can show you without breaking like confidentiality stuff of students. So you just have to play around with it when you can. One thing that I will say though, on my class website, my second tool that I want to talk about is a Padlet. I don't know if you've ever seen Padlet before. This is the inside dashboard, and I can show you how to make a new one. There was a cute little pink button up there. So once you start a Padlet account, it's actually really easy to go ahead and make yourself a Padlet. The tools are over here on the side. Like this is already made, and now I just have to do some customizing. I recommend not using the freeform, either using the grid or the stream option. And then you can look through all of these really cute backgrounds. And I usually try to find one that's school related, like they'll have one that looks like a piece of paper or like a cork board. But you really, I mean, you can have chevron, you can have anything you want, which is a lot of fun. Calendar, notebook. I like that one because it's kind of notebook paper. But anyway, once you create it, all you have to do is give the link to your students by sharing it. You can give it a title, of course, and a description if you want to. Once I close out of this, there is a little button to share it. And my favorite way to use it is to embed it on my class website, but you have to have a class website to be able to do that. But you can also copy a link to it. You have a QR code that you can use. So if you have a mixed tech lab like I did, I had some laptops, some desktops, some iPads, some iPod touches, no one had an excuse to not be able to turn in using a Padlet, which is really cool. So let me give you an example of one This was one I set it up just for that particular class, and the students, their assignment that day, they could use one of several tools, either ABC is Go Animate, or there was if they were using an iPad, a painting program, and they had to work on telling me the differences. We were learning about ecosystems, how the biotic and abiotic factors work together in an ecosystem. So they were all able to turn in their work, whatever it was that they made, right onto this Padlet. So all that you have to do, and they were supposed to label theirs. Some of them got to it and some of them didn't. All you have to do is find any gray space, any blank space, and double click, and it'll come up to the top, and it has some options. You can record voice, video, or you can add an attachment. So that's the one that I go with. Well, you can pull up any of those things as your attachment. So what you can do is just have them turn in. So this is making me dizzy now. Have them turn in whatever it is that they did for their assignment. If they made a .gif file, they can upload that. If they made a video, they can upload that. If they took a screenshot of the paint program, they can upload that. So it's really easy once they get the hang of it to be able to upload things. And then whenever we have time, if we have it at the end of class or the next class, I love for them to be able to write at each other so they can leave comments, feedback, and talk about the whole process. So it's just really easy. You can upload anything. You can upload files. I had my students working on a group project one year for internet safety, and I made each group their own Padlet so that they could share files across them. And all they needed was that link, and everybody was able to get there and upload their PowerPoints, their PDFs, so that each person could download and then re-upload the updates. It was just our go around, because this is a few years ago before Google Classroom came around, and this was our go around for it, and it worked really well. So tool number 2 is Padlet. All right, finally I want to talk about Dropbox. So I'm going to flip myself back and zoom you back out a little bit. So Dropbox is probably my new favorite tool, and it works kind of similarly to Padlet, except that only you are going to get the final work that they do when you use Dropbox. So what I did, I have my iPads and iPod Touches, and on each one of those I downloaded the Dropbox app onto it. So I taught my students to put their pictures, their movie files, whatever it was, to turn them into me through the Dropbox, which made it really easy. And then on my class website for the students that were on the laptops or the desktops, I would just put a link for where I wanted them to drop their assignments. So everyone was able to put their stuff into my Dropbox no matter what type of device they were using, which made it really easy and simple. Of course, you do have to talk to them about naming protocols so that you don't miss it, because like I had 23 classes or something like that, and so they had to tell me teacher's name first so that I could put it into the right place, and then their name or their group, the group of names, so that I could tell to be able to grade that assignment. The only thing that is not great about the Dropbox is that they're not going to be able to give each other feedback. So this would be like for the final turn-in of an assignment, kind of like that. So the other tools, Edmodo, you can have them do some of the stuff publicly, release some of it so they can give each other comments. And on Padlet, if you want to use it that way, you certainly can. All right, so those were today's 3 tools for turning in assignments when you are in the tech lab that don't require something like Google Classroom, because I know that not everyone has access to that yet. All right, next week we're going to talk about my 10 favorite websites that can be used on both laptops and tablets. You're not going to want to miss that. So 3 p.m. Eastern Time on August 9th, and that'll be our last one for the summer. We'll have to work a new schedule out after that. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.